Mark Littlewood is the director of popular conservatism and freely admits he is a massive Doctor Who fan. Mark, good afternoon, evening, whatever it is. How are you?
Hi, Jeremy. Great to be with you. Yes, indeed, I am. And, Jeremy, I've got the particular DVD. It arrived just a few days ago. This is the one that's causing so much concern that needs trigger warnings about. You might notice it's only a PG certificate, though.
So let me explain this, right? So the caution comes on this new 4-part animation. Viewers are alerted to PG-rated The Savages, featuring alien beings and fantasy violence. The British Board of Film Classification also says episodes include verbal references to discrimination, oh shocking, and the discriminatory social structure of an alien society. I'm going to swear, get ready with the thing. It's a bloody programme. What the alien, what the discriminatory social structure of an alien society? The next will tell you that Daleks have got feelings. What the hell's going on? I can't take much more.
Jeremy, I've got bad news.
What?
It's even worse than you think.
Why?
This is a William Hartnell story. He was the first Doctor Who.
Yes.
This story comes from 1966. They've lost the original footage, but they've got the audio, so they've animated it around the audio. The story is about the Doctor landing on an alien planet where there's a high-tech society, and this high-tech society is exploiting the low-tech society next door. The Doctor's on the side of the slaves. He liberates them. He leaves behind his companion to make sure that these two parts of society are united. If anything, it's a woke left-wing story. It's not pro-slavery. It's not pro-exploitation. It's exactly the opposite. And it's a kid's show. It's a family show from 1966. Jeremy, the Doctor's been around, Doctor Who's been around for 62 years now, and he's come across some pretty weird and...
Yeah, sorry, I have to stop you there. You can't say he because that...
Oh, one of them. You're right. One iteration is a she. So the he's and the she's that have been the Doctor.
There, I'll say that. That'll get me
the
saying.
he-she's have come across a lot of weird and insane and bizarre adversaries, but none as weird and insane and bizarre.
And interestingly,
broadcasting film
and interestingly, is that Doctor Who? I mean, it's like Star Trek, isn't it? People are really into it. Doctor Who's viewing figures have plummeted. Woke storylines featuring there was a transgender character, no problem with that, but it's just that everything seems to have been hijacked for some ideological morality, which I never understand. At what point do you think, and you're a Doctor Who fan, you're about popular conservatism, at what point do you think we're going to, as a society, go, do you know what, can I just decide what I want to watch? Do you think I could just, even if you find it offensive, it's like Ricky Gervais is right, they're only jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. If you don't, I mean, I said it for years after what happened to me, if you don't want to watch something, don't watch it, turn it off, for God's sake, but don't, I think, tell the rest of the world what they can and can't do.
You're completely right. I agree with that. And I guess the good news here, sad for Doctor Who fans like me, but the woker that mainstream culture goes, people are turning it off. Yeah. Doctor Who's ratings, since it became more interested in spreading the message rather than telling good science fiction, has seen its viewers, its ratings absolutely fall off the edge of a cliff.
So why wouldn't, right, Mark, why, and I say this about politicians, and I'll say it about television makers. Piers and I have this discussion many times. Why wouldn't, OK, politicians, but in this case television stations, networks, production companies go, hold on a minute, I might be ticking an ideological box, but people want something. Like, we've sat here today, right, and I totally understand that tariffs are at the forefront of everybody's mind. The fact that it bores the bits off me, I'll do it. But then at 5:30, Ryan says, this is brilliant, Boris Johnson's been bitten by an ostrich, right? And there's a video of him going, oh, God, and we've had story after story of what people have been bitten by, right? Just, you can mix that in. Is that offensive to people who are worried about tariffs? I fear that we become policed by ideology that is so sadly lacking in common sense, and more importantly than that, misses the point of what people actually want.
Yeah, and I think it's even worse than that. That we've got into a position in which we assume absolutely no human being is at all resilient. that anything that
Or
might
has
not
a
be
sense
to
of
their
humour.
liking,
Or has
or has a sense of humour, that anything that might be to their liking is going to put them, might not be to their liking, is going to put them in a position of clinical shock and cause them mental health problems. Just reach for the off button if you don't like it. But what we're seeing in popular culture, I say it's happened with modern Doctor Who now, it's also happened with the catastrophic remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs by Disney, is if you are trying to just communicate a woke message to people, they aren't going to tune in. They aren't going to buy cinema tickets. You are going to lose money. So sooner or later, the popular culture market needs to correct that people want good stories, fun, witticisms.
I thought the irony about that...
occasionally be offensive.
Completely
but
agree.
That's what people want to watch.
I thought the irony, the massive irony about the story that you just said, that appalling Disney woke remake of Sleep... What is it?
Snow White.
Snow White. In their maybe it was well intentioned, but they didn't want to use dwarfs. They thought that was disrespectful and was... So they provided, I think, the seven dwarfs are replaced by characters, AI-generated, realistic, enhanced...
Seven mysterious creatures.
Seven mysterious creatures. And completely and utterly hacked off... did you see all the interviews from dwarf actors saying, now we haven't got the work that we crave? And so this sort of mad sort of desire to... Do you know what this is really interesting to say this to you as the director of popular conservatism. I want to know who these people are, because I obviously live in a cave. Because, I mean, I was at Newcastle Airport last night. I met a squaddy and his wife that just had a baby. He's 24 years of age, fighting to stick up for this country. He thinks the world's gone barking mad. People of my age, I've just been with my best mate in Newcastle, exactly the same. Who are the people that think this woke madness is worth following through? Because I don't know any of them. Maybe, as I say, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's not you who lives in the cave, it's them. We have a detached, liberal, metropolitan elite who think they know best, who rarely visit Newcastle Airport, certainly never speak to anybody in the armed forces, and are totally detached from the real world. Unfortunately, we find them at the top of filmmaking and broadcasting, and therefore they are pumping out things which equate to their particular predilections and prejudices, but it doesn't land with ordinary people.
Do you think that'll change? Do you think that'll change, Mark?
I think it is beginning to change. I mean, because if you have got shares in these things, if you've got shares in the Disney Corporation, for example, you're going to be asking for some searching questions about why this catastrophic woke Snow White movie has lost the Disney Corporation probably $200 or $300 million.
And they've stopped. They're not even having premieres because they've so sussed out that this is the biggest turkey ever. And you're right, from a business point of view, would you look at that and go, well, that didn't work because that's not what people want?
Yeah. People want quite traditional fare, really, heroics, quite a bit of patriotism thrown in. If you look at the movies that have done well recently on both sides of the Atlantic, they tend to be of that ilk. I mean, Tom Cruise's remake of Top Gun, absolute smash hit. I mean, it's a straightforward popcorn movie, but it's patriotic. It's got heroes in it. It is not trying to preach to you. And unfortunately, popular culture is no longer in the hands of the woke, often about telling a good story with great characters and a few twists. It's about preaching to you the message. And people are sick and tired of being preached to. That's not what they want to do when they're sitting at home watching television. It's not what they want to spend 10 or 15 quid on a cinema ticket for. And slowly but surely, that lesson is being learnt. Unfortunately, in this Doctor Who case, it's about a quango. We have this BBFC who need to give trigger warnings if they think something's inappropriate or might cause harm or offence. We need to get rid of that. We could do with the Daleks exterminating that quango and quite a few others.
Mate, I don't know where you've been.
Then the market will actually get the sort of things that you and I want to watch. And I suspect you and I are much closer to the median British person than the people who are actually commissioning the trash that is coming out of Hollywood and the BBC at the moment.
I don't know where you've been on my life, but you're absolutely welcome to be on this show anytime. I could not agree with you anymore. And I find it quite inspiring because you do end up, I said to Ryan, it's only 3 days a week, but I come in here full of vitality on a Monday, and within 5 minutes I'm raging because it's just madness. But an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you so so much indeed. Mark Littlewood, Director of Popular Conservatism.
Well, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed that video, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the Popcon YouTube channel. You can also find out more about us on our website, popularconservatism.com, and you can follow us on social media. Details are in the show notes below.